Hi, and thanks for joining us here at Rose Quartz Mediumship for this energy update for April 2024. We are going to step into an eclipse on April 8th, and eclipses have been very long known for creating significant and intense shifts in our reality. With the solar eclipse that's happening on the 8th, you may feel some unsettled energy. And so I'm going to invite you as you head into the eclipse to make sure that you have significant grounding practices in place. Make sure that you're taking time to be with yourself, to be with the things that are coming up for you, to make sure that you're in nature, that you're drinking enough water, that you're getting enough sleep, and that you're spending time with your hands and feet in connection with the earth. If you're looking for additional eclipse support, then check out our somatic approach to eclipse mini course that is advertised on our website. With an eclipse, they have long been known to support us in getting back on our path in the event that we are slightly off of our path. And by that, I mean, if you're out of integrity, if there are patterns that are showing up in your life that don't serve you and the direction that you're going. Those patterns may be from trauma that's unhealed, or from subconscious or unconsciously held stories connected to experiences that you had previously in your life. One of the beautiful things about an eclipse is that it really does support us in getting to the most authentic version of us. And I watch a lot of people fight the eclipse. And I'm just going to invite you to work with it, to leverage the absolute intensity that the eclipse is going to offer you to be the best version of you. This is a really fabulous time for you to be doing shadow work, for you to be looking at the parts of you that don't resonate anymore. And I'm a huge believer that the place that you want to go, the desires that you're holding in your heart, require you to let go of a version of you that you have been, who you have been. And that kind of death and rebirth process is both uncomfortable and incredibly beautiful. And so as you move through the eclipse on the 8th and the intensity leading into it and out of it, just be gentle with yourself and recognize that there is a part of you that needs to die in order for a new part of you to be born. And that can be a beautiful thing if you let it be. The month of April typically offers us a lot of stability, right? When you look at the numerology of the month of April, stability is something that is pretty intense in the month of April. And I want to talk a little bit about stability through an eclipse, because if you're working with the eclipse, there's a state of surrender that you're in. You're not emotionally attached to what the eclipse is trying to show you about yourself. And in order for you to be in that state of surrender, where you're not emotionally attached to one outcome or another, to one trajectory in your life or another, but you're actually really present with the here and now, what is happening around you, then you have all of the stability that you need. You feel safe inside of yourself if you're in a state of surrender, if you're present with your present moment. I used to believe that stability had a lot to do with almost rigidity, right? So structure and stability. But I learned that the biggest factor for me in finding stability was to find flexibility. And I can remember when that lesson really landed for me. I was out for a run and I recognized that stability was when I had a little flex in my knee. I was the most stable running when there was flexibility. And that my life was no different than that. if I was willing to have flexibility in my life, it offered me intense stability. And so I'm just going to offer that to you in the event that it's something that you want to play with. Where do you have enough flexibility in your life, enough surrender, that you're stable, that you're safe inside of yourself? There's this really beautiful saying that a bird is not scared of sitting on a branch, because if the branch breaks, it knows that it can fly. And I think that that's a really beautiful metaphor or analogy to think about. Sometimes in life, we put so much pressure on the branches that we are choosing to rest on that we forget that we can fly. And I think that that is a really beautiful thing to hold on to as we move through the month of April, and as you move through the eclipse and everything that the eclipse is going to offer you. So as you step into April 2024, I would just encourage you and invite you to do that from a grounded place, from an open place of presence, where you can actually see what the month of April is offering you, rather than being so emotionally attached to one outcome that you can't see the beauty of what the eclipse and the month of April might be offering you. And remember that presence and flexibility creates massive stability in your life.